saying that we cannot make images, right? Antonio, what's your name right here?
My name's Will.
All right, my name's Aaron. So you guys saying we can't make images?
No, I'm not saying anything. This is what the Lord.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand what you guys are saying.
Yes. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Any likeness.
What verse? What chapter and verse you read?
Exodus 20, verse 4.
Read it. Exodus 20, verse 4. Read it for you. So we got to understand, what does he mean by... So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it for you. So we got to understand, what is he saying when he's saying that we cannot make any image? So read this.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water.
Antonio. I'm reading it for you, right? So be respectful and let me finish reading, all right?
Or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
So the first thing that he said, Antonio, listen. So the first thing that the Bible said was that we cannot make any images of what's below in the heavens, right? He said don't make any images, right? 1 second, I'm about to ask you a question. Just wait a second. You listening? Y'all listening? Let me ask my question. I'm gonna answer y'all question. Just give me a second. So I'm gonna read it again. Read it one more time.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
So what was the stipulation that he said? Go to Leviticus chapter 26. That's what I want, right? Leviticus 26. So he's saying, so it says it in multiple places. So just listen. Just pay attention. I'm getting to a point. Read Leviticus 26 and 1.
The book of Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols nor graven image.
So he said don't make any idols and don't make any graven images, right? Go ahead.
Neither rear up you any standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it.
To do what with it?
To bow down unto it.
So he said don't make any images to do what with it, Antonio? Wait, I'm just asking you. Answer the question first. Read it again.
Don't interrupt the Bible. Read it again.
Ye shall not set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it.
All right, so y'all listening, right? What's your name? What is it? Gustin, what's your name? Grant. Okay, so it said we should not set up any graven image to what? To bow down to it, right? So that's very specific. He says we gave specific instructions on what not to do with the image, right? So Antonio, what's your name again? Brother right here? Will. All right, so are there any instances in the Bible where you see that our people made images or made anything that was graven? Anything that was graven? What type of buildings did we make? Did the Israelites build? They had the temple, right? What did they build in the temple? Inside the temple, they put certain things on the walls, right? There's something that they carried around. The priests carried around certain things with them everywhere they went. What was that? The Ark of the Covenant, right? So they made a whole graven image, right? So go to what is that? Is that Numbers
1 Kings 6
and 35? Go to 1 Kings chapter 6. So Antonio, listen to this. Go ahead, because I want to show you the instance in the Bible where they actually made an image. So we're dealing with it. So read.
We still never dealt with verse
19.
We still never dealt.
So go ahead.
Thou shalt not make, right?
Right.
If you don't make it, you won't have anything to bow down to.
Okay. Okay, so now I see exactly where you're coming from. I see exactly where you're coming from now. So go to 1 Kings chapter 6, go to verse 35, right? Start at 19. Because understand, because the brother came up, he's not coming up with understanding of trying to figure out what this means. He came up with saying we make images of Nathaniel. So the brother's coming up with disrespect instead of coming up with edification. So read it.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 6, and verse 19. And the oracle he prepared in the house within to set there the ark of the covenant of the Lord.
So he made the ark. Listen. He made the ark of the covenant, right? He made the ark of the covenant. Is that graven stone? The ark of the covenant was made of solid gold.
Right.
It's solid gold, right? Read on.
And the oracle in the forepart was 20 cubits in length and 20 cubits in breadth. And
all right, so Antonio. So what are they breaking the commandment when they made the Ark of the Covenant? When they made the Ark of the Covenant, did they break the commandment? Because your point was thou shalt not make.
Of course, that was not the breaking commandment.
So what's the difference?
From God to make it. That was a type of the presence of God. And
So what's the difference between having an image and making
it
this?
was the Ark of the Covenant, and as a sign to the people of Israel, as the presence of God. As the presence
Okay, I'm gonna show you some more examples. Keep reading.
And the oracle in the forepart was 20 cubits in length, and 20 cubits in breadth, and 20 cubits in the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold.
So he overlaid this with pure gold, right? So he's graving an image right now, right?
35. Verse 35. And he carved thereon cherubims.
So what are cherubims? Y'all know what's a cherubim?
clay,
The cherubim. What are the cherubims?
angel.
They're angels. They made graven angels, right? So they're making this. Go ahead. And this is not the ark. Read.
35. And he carved thereon cherubims and palm trees and open flowers and covered them with gold fitted upon the carved work.
So what made this acceptable? Because this is not the Ark of the Covenant. So what made this acceptable?
Wait, let me ask you this. Where's the Ark of, why don't you have an Ark of the Covenant out here?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So what makes this an issue?
The Ark of the Covenant out
What
here.
makes this an issue?
Why don't we have the Ark of the Covenant out here?
Give me that in numbers. Give me that in numbers about
Why do we have this?
Moses when he made the serpent. Because I'm gonna explain something else. Because he's going to different topics. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So what we're talking about, can you make graven images? 21 and 5. Go ahead.
The book of Numbers, chapter 21 and verse 5. And the people spake against God and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness?
So let's say, now we're saying the Ark of the Covenant was the presence of God. So here's another example. The other example is, y'all familiar with Moses and the serpent, that serpent that he made? Serpent of brass? So read
I
this.
also don't see you with snakes.
For there is no bread, neither is there any water, or our soul loatheth this light bread. And the Lord sent fiery serpents upon the people, and they bit the people, and much people
So
died.
remember, let's go back to Exodus, because I want to read something, because it's a point that he was trying to make. Go back to Exodus chapter 20. Go to verse 2. Is it 22, 23? Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath.
On the earth. So serpents, they're on the earth, right? So he said, thou shalt not make any graven image of things above or on the earth beneath. So the point that he was making was, do not make. So that's what he said, do not make. But we go back to Numbers chapter 21, we read verse 5. Read that again.
Verse 5. And the people spake against God and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, or our soul loatheth this light bread. Now you can jump down.
Verse 9.
Verse 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass.
So he found something on the earth that was biting the people, and he made it, and he used it, right? So is there a sin here? Is Moses in sin for this? Did he break the commandment in Exodus chapter 20?
Right.
Did he break that commandment? Did he break that commandment?
Let me ask this. Would you agree that he sinned?
He didn't break the commandment here.
Contradiction found in the Most High's law.
He didn't break this commandment here.
Contradiction found in the Most
I can't say he was. Let's go back to Leviticus 26. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent.
So the Lord gave him a commandment to break this. The Lord said, Moses, go break my commandment. Is that what's happening here?
Bring it out.
So what is the issue between Moses making the serpent? Did he break the commandment in Exodus chapter 20? So let me ask you, did he break the commandment in Exodus chapter 20?
The thing is like, still
Did he break the commandment in Exodus chapter 20? It's that simple.
it's that simple.
What's that got to do with anything? So my point is that who told him to do this? Who told him to make the serpent? Who told Moses to make that serpent? Read it again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses.
And who said unto Moses?
And the Lord said unto Moses.
And who said unto Moses?
And the Lord said unto Moses.
So the Lord said to Moses, the same Lord that was in Egypt with him, the same one that came through the Red Sea, the same one told him to make an image of a brass snake.
That's right.
So what's your point?
Bring it out.
So my question still is, did he break the commandment?
Right.
No, because he obeyed the commandment that was given in the 21st.
But would the Lord contradict his commandment? No. So that means somewhere you're misunderstanding what he's saying.
Right.
So let's go back. I want you to understand. I'm not here to argue with y'all. I want you to understand. Go back to Exodus chapter 20. Ask the question.
I would be a part of this. What was that a type of? After the word of God. The gospel going to say that. What was that?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
What is that target? What does that typify? That serpent of brass being lifted.
Yeah.
What does that typify?
Let's read it. Let's go to John 3. John 3.
My point is that was Christ.
Right. So, but what's your point?
My point is that it represents Christ. That was given in Exodus 20, and of course we're saying in Deuteronomy chapter 5. Now that, what you need to understand is the difference between the prescriptive and descriptive text. Is that prescribed in the sense of that we're just supposed to lift up a bunch of serpents? No, you look to the Lord for salvation. There's neither salvation for any other, save the Lord Jesus Christ.
So what does that have to do with having an image, though?
The point is that that's...
Because the point, understand the point that you were telling me was that we cannot make an image, but we were given instructions to make an image. Right. And when they built the temple, but one second. Let me finish. I'm gonna let you go. 1 second, because when they had the temple, they made more images, and there's plenty of scriptures that show that we had images, that we made images,
right.
And there was nothing wrong, but the stipulation still is. The stipulation still is to not worship it. So what does it mean to worship an image? To bow. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Let's read verse 3.
I mean, you can worship without bowing down, though.
You don't have to bow down. Understand? I agree. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. You don't have to bow down to something to worship it. I can talk to something. It's not a word. Somebody give me the definition of worship real quick. Give me the definition of worship, because it's not necessarily you have to bow down.
To put above God.
Right, exactly. All you gotta do is put it above God. So let's say for instance, the Lord says, "Thou shalt not." Let's say you're not supposed to eat pork. The commandment says you're not supposed to eat pork or unclean food, right? So if I choose to eat pork instead of serving the Lord and obeying His commandment, I have now idolized that pork. Anything I put above God becomes an idol, or I worship it. That's what that is. So read this for me.
This is the definition of worship. The feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity.
So when you put something above the Lord, that's exactly what it is. So you're on point. So read that.
Where we at?
John.
The book of John, chapter...
No, we don't need that because he's not even listening no more. So, back to my point. Go back to Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Because the point is that when it says don't make images, it's not necessarily talking about actually making the image. The issue is worshiping the image. So go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 1. Ye shall make no idols nor graven image, neither rear up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
So a standing image would be like a statue and things like that. But you got to understand that our people made monuments. They made temples for our people. You know about that? Like when our people got buried, they made a monument for them. That's not the same thing as worshiping. That's the stipulation. It's worship. Go ahead.
To bow down unto it.
So he said we should not make them to bow down to them.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.